This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Overnight, a house fire destroys a duplex while officers investigate a shooting where they can't locate a suspect or a victim. The investigation's now underway after these early morning calls.
Plus, cleaning up after Sunday's EF2 tornado. The moment South Bend residents say they realized the storm had become serious.
And summer mosquito season is here. The precautions you can take to avoid those itchy bites and keep your family healthy this year, that's coming up. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. I'm Nicole Griffin.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We have got some great news to kick off this Tuesday. No real rain chances today. Meteorologist Todd Clausen here with a quiet forecast. I bet this is one of the best days of your life.
Yeah, you know, I just typed up the web script and the first word there, finally, in all capital letters there with 2 exclamation points. Because yeah, we finally have sunshine in the forecast with no threat of rain for the day today. So what do you need to grab before you go? Well, you can kind of tuck that rain gear away. That is the good news. You'll definitely need the sunglasses from start to finish. And some of you may want the light jacket here this morning, but honestly, as soon as the sun comes up, which is a little after 6 o'clock, we'll start to warm these temperatures pretty quickly across the area. 62 right now in Indy, 64 in Bloomington, 61 in Lafayette, 61 also in Logansport. And Anderson, you're at 63. So we're all just in the same air mass here this morning. Not much of a difference temperature-wise across the area, at least nothing that you'll really notice. So that's extreme, but the skies are completely clear. I was driving into downtown this morning. I said, man, the skyline looks pretty good here without the humidity and all the bright lights and the dark sky. And so the rain is well off to the east now. We have a few showers off to our west near Omaha. Some of these may clip the Chicago and South Bend area, but we should remain completely dry throughout the day today. So enjoy the sunshine, close to 80 already by the noon hour with high temperatures, Elena, topping off in the low to mid 80s later on this afternoon.
All right, thank you, Todd. Not too much happening on the roadways right now. Coming in from the southwest side on I-70 from Ronald Reagan Parkway up to I-65 should run you about 12 minutes. So traffic's moving along just fine right now. Let's take a look at this stretch right now on our live-in.traffic camera. I-70 at West Street. You can see rings true over here. All's flowing just fine for your morning drive.
Thank you. Here's a quick update on some things that happened while you were sleeping. 2 families are now without a home after a double residence fire just after midnight. Firefighters were called to a duplex on West McCarty Street near I-70 and Harding Street on the west side. Luckily, all 5 people that lived in the duplex, along with a cat and gerbil, got out safely, but the home is a total loss. No word so far on what may have started the fire.
And Metro Police are trying to figure out who fired a gun and at what in a shooting on the northwest side. Officers were called to the Fisherman's Village apartments just before 2 this morning. That's near North Girls School Road and Crawfordsville Road. Police found dozens of rounds that were fired outside the apartments and some that went into the building. However, no one was injured. Detectives are now trying to figure out if the shooting was targeted at someone or just random. The search for a Tippecanoe County man accused of kidnapping a woman who was stranded with a flat tire continues this morning.
Officials have been trying to track down the suspect since Saturday night. This is 55-year-old Paul Etter. Police say he abducted a woman who had stopped to deal with her flat tire Saturday night. After holding her hostage for several hours and assaulting her, Etter let the woman go. On Monday, police investigated 2 possible sightings of Etter, but both were dead ends. Officials say Etter is armed and dangerous. Anyone who knows where he may be is asked to call police immediately.
Indiana conservation officers are asking for help finding the person involved in a hit-and-run boat crash at Geist Reservoir. It happened around 2:30 Saturday morning south of Geist Marina. 66-year-old Randy Mathis says he was anchored and fishing when another boat hit him and took off. Mathis was thrown from his boat and treated for minor injuries. Investigators are now looking for a boat with damage to its front and possible maroon or black paint marks. If you have any information, call the Indiana Conservation Department. And state police have identified the man who was hit and killed while walking along I-465. Troopers say 21-year-old Hasiel Kiala was a passenger in the car that crashed near the Harding Street exit early Sunday morning. They say he was walking to a restaurant to wait for someone to pick him up when he was hit along the ramp. Police believe the driver was in a Kia Soul or small SUV and the car may have been blue or black. Anyone with information should call Indiana State Police right away.
Cleanup still underway in South Bend, where residents are dealing with the damage left behind after an EF2 tornado. The National Weather Service confirmed the tornado briefly formed on Sunday with wind speeds around 115 miles per hour. Residents say it happened so fast they were just watching the storms move in when they realized things were serious.
We looked right behind us and we saw the clouds coming right over the bypass, and we had to book it inside.
The storm knocked out power to about 1,000 people in South Bend. This morning, crews are still working with about 50 customers still in the dark. It is summertime in central Indiana, and that means spending a lot of time outside enjoying the weather.
But summertime also means the return of those pesky mosquitoes. Our Aaron Lish is live this morning with how you can try to make your yard an oasis and not a mosquito paradise. I hope you have bug spray on right now, Aaron.
You know, I certainly need it because I absolutely hate getting those welts from mosquitoes. And there was a new report released by Orkin saying that Indy is the 19th worst city for mosquitoes. So we asked experts what you should do for prevention. The crew from Mosquito Joe's sprays around this home specifically for Lori Pax's son.
First of all, my son gets eaten alive by mosquitoes.
You can use insect repellent containing DEET and use fans to help with mosquito bite prevention. Mosquito control expert John Utterback says you can also get your house sprayed, which lasts about 3 weeks. He adds mosquitoes thrive in damp, dark, low-lying spots.
As you get closer to that tree line, that's where the adults are going to be, and even in the daytime, if you walk a few paces into the woods, you're just going to get hammered by mosquitoes.
Make sure to mow the lawn and trim hedges regularly. Also, get rid of any standing water.
So we encourage homeowners to dump these things when they can, especially after a rain.
Pax says so far with getting her house sprayed, they can finally enjoy their backyard this summer.
We like to be outside. Obviously with the pool and the kids being, and we want the kids to have fun and not be eaten alive out there.
So along with this spray for mosquitoes, it also helps prevent against ticks and fleas. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. Metro Police warning about a tire thief striking on the northeast side. A woman was driving to work when she says she noticed her car acting strange. When she pulled over, she saw one of the tires had been stolen and replaced with a donut tire. She's now out a few $100s in the cost of getting the tire replaced. Her brother talked to RTV6 about the bizarre theft.
They probably watch, driving around, looking, see what they see, and if it matches something they need to get it. For them to take the time to jack it up and put another tire on, usually they just drop it on the ground.
A spokesman from the National Insurance Crime Bureau tells RTV6 preventing tire theft is tough, but says locking lug nuts can help. There are also safety apps you can link with your car to get alerts if anyone is messing with it. But the best thing you can do is keep your car out of sight and park in a garage if you can. If you have concerns and want to raise awareness about crimes in your neighborhood, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Tonight, the Broad Ripple Canal will look a little like bath time with hundreds of rubber ducks floating downstream. The annual duck race was postponed on Sunday night because of weather and pushed until today. Here's how it works. You can buy a duck for $6, and if it's the first to cross the finish line, you're the ducky winner and will take home hundreds of dollars in Broad Ripple business gift cards. The ducks go on sale at 5 p.m. tonight, and the race starts at 6:30. I know one guy who spends some time in Broad Ripple. Todd, will you be there?
I'll probably be there watching on the banks there of the canal somewhere. It's a fun event. I hope they get a good turnout. Usually on the weekend, it's on a Sunday, got postponed because of those storms, but a lot of families come out with their kids, and it's a great event. So hopefully you all come out here later on this evening. As far as the temperatures this morning, we're in the 60s, lots of sunshine throughout the entire day today, and that is the good news. We have a cold front that went through yesterday that cleared us out. We had a few stronger storms yesterday evening. That front is now well off towards the east, and we have high pressure building in. We have clear skies right now. Wouldn't really worry about those storms in Omaha the past few days. I would tell you, oh boy, here we go again. They're going to track, but they should fade away and make their way into just northern portions of the state later on this evening. Temperatures today anywhere from about 80 to 85 degrees will be your high. It should be a great day across the area and a nice evening as well for baseball at Victory Field. 7:05 is the first pitch. Temperature temperatures starting off right around 83 degrees, then falling into the 70s as you get into the later innings of that game. So obviously anything you want to do outdoors today, you're in tip-top shape. More on the extended forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Still ahead, new video released in the case of Jussie Smollett, the actor accused of staging his own hate crime. What body cameras captured as officers took those first reports.
Plus, time to feed your innovative business idea to the Sharks. Shark Tank coming to Indy next month for a casting call. How you can get in front of the show's producers. Coming up right after the break.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time now is 5:13. Here's a look at I-465 at Ditch Road up on the north side. Traffic appears to be pretty heavy for this hour, but the good news is it's not completely backed up just yet. I'll keep an eye on this area for you all morning long.
Elena, thank you. Chicago police have released new information about the Jussie Smollett investigation and the claims he was a victim of a hate crime.
Police say their investigation found Smollett had staged the attack, but charges for lying to police were later dropped. This week, police released more than 70 hours of video, including the moments officers arrived to Smollett's apartment. In the video, Smollett is still wearing a noose, which he claimed his attackers put on him. The decision to drop charges in the case is still under investigation, and a special prosecutor will be appointed in the case.
It was another deadly week in Ohio, with first responders saying 10 overdose deaths are linked to the opioid epidemic. Those 10 deaths came after EMTs handled more than 60 overdose calls in the past week. Officials in Ohio say, unfortunately, the overdoses are not new, but numbers like this have not been seen since 2017 when fentanyl first hit the streets.
The United States has an addiction epidemic, but a fentanyl crisis. If fentanyl was not in the system, you would not see 60 overdoses in a weekend. You would not see double-digit deaths.
Ohio first responders say with all the overdoses, they are using more Narcan than ever, a drug that can sometimes reverse an overdose.
Hundreds of migrant children will be relocated after reports of dire conditions inside a border facility. 250 kids at the facility in Clint, Texas, will be moved to a new shelter today. Last week, human rights advocates found kids there did not have access to soap, had not showered in weeks, and many were sick. Conditions at border facilities are one of the big immigration issues the Trump administration is dealing with right now. Democrats and Republicans are considering legislation right now that would increase funding to border operations. Do you and your budding business idea have what it takes to survive this Shark Tank? Well, soon you will have a chance to find out right here in Indy.
The RTV6 hit show will make their last casting stop of the season at IMS next month. The open casting call will happen July 16th. That is when you can pitch your idea to Shark Tank producers in their first-time visit to Indiana. Attendees are encouraged to fill out an online application and bring it to the open call. For more information, go to the RTV6 app and click on this story. Todd, too bad we don't have an idea here on Good Morning Indiana. We could be famous.
I think we could come up with something in a few weeks. Yeah.
I just don't know if I want to go in front of that crowd.
Right.
They can be pretty mean sometimes, right? All right, I saw somebody's invention there, which they didn't like, was the lawnmower. Maybe you haven't mowed your lawn yet in a few days, and you need to do it. Well, today is your day, or honestly, in the next few days, you are in great shape as well. I know that's what I'm going to be doing later on this afternoon. 62 degrees. That is the current temperature. Just light winds out of the west-southwest, 7 miles per hour this morning. That dew point has come way down. Yesterday afternoon, it got real muggy after that kind of drizzle went through, and then we got into the sunshine, and then the cold front went through with that second round of rain yesterday evening. Well, it was that cold front that pushed all the humidity out of here and has set us up for what is going to be a pretty nice day across the area. Sunny and seasonable. 64 in Bloomington, Bedford at 62 degrees, 61 in Lafayette. Richmond's at 63 degrees. Everybody's within a couple degrees of each other. And the one thing I think you'll notice today is our temperature will warm really, really quickly across the area. So you may need the light jacket here this morning, but I think most of you should be just fine. Once the sun comes up a little after 6 o'clock, look at the temperature already. By 9 a.m., close to 70 degrees. By the time we get to the noon hour, we're close to 80 degrees. And then high temperatures today will top off. This goes till 3 p.m. at 82. We'll probably by 4 or 5 o'clock get up to right around 84 degrees for your high temperature today. So just what we needed. We needed a dry day. We needed more summer-like heat in the forecast, and that's exactly exactly what we're going to get on this Tuesday. So radar is quiet. Yesterday's storms are now well off to the east. You look to the west, and there's really not a whole lot going on across the area. One little cluster of storms near Omaha. That will probably track towards Chicago and maybe up towards the South Bend area. So it's not completely out of the question. Peru, you may see an increase in cloud cover a little bit later on this afternoon, and as these showers start to make their way through the area. But most of central Indiana should remain completely dry. It's just that really far northern portion of it that has the threat of any showers later on today. This evening, tip-top shape for outdoor plans, whatever you want to do. Humidity's fairly low. Temperatures fall into the 70s. Sunset this evening is at 9:17. And then for the day tomorrow, look at these temperatures. Tomorrow, we kind of crank up the heat a little bit more. We're talking mid to upper 80s, 87 in Indianapolis, as well as Peru, 89 potentially in Bloomington. As far as rain chances tomorrow, there could be just a quick pop-up storm. It's not completely out of the question tomorrow, but it'll be nothing more than a quick isolated pop-up storm, puts down a downpour, moves off in 10 to 15 minutes, and that is just about it. And honestly, if you do see it tomorrow, probably consider yourself pretty unlucky because most of us remain completely dry. Thursday, Friday, mostly sunny. Notice the temperature, though. 90 degrees from Friday into Saturday. We haven't been in that territory yet, so it's really going to feel pretty hot. And then for the weekend, just about a 20% chance of an isolated storm, and that is just about it for both Saturday and Sunday. Elena?
All right, thank you, Todd. Here's a look at I-465 at Rockville Road on the west side. Traffic's flowing just fine for your drive. But let's take a look at the map. An area traffic isn't moving along just fine up on that northwest side. All northbound lanes of I-65 closed between 465 and I-865, so up in that dogleg area. If you're heading to Boone County, this is something that's going to impact you until July 1st. So northbound 465 to westbound 865, that's going to be your detour. So again, be patient with this. It will add some time to your drive. Let's take one last look at the roads, this time over on the east side. 465 at I-70, traffic's flowing just fine. The roads are dry for your morning drive. Will be the case for your evening as well.
Elena, thank you. Now that the NBA season is over, there was a new reigning MVP.
The Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo is now the youngest player to win the award. He got 78 first-place votes, with James Harden coming in second. Once on stage to accept the award, the Greek Freak had high praise and thanks for his family. He got especially emotional when he mentioned his mom.
You're a little kid. You don't see the future, right? And if you have a good parent, your parent sees the future for you. And she always saw the future in us. She always believed in us. She was always there for us. She's the foundation of this family. You're my true hero.
Oh, the Pacers' Domantas Sabonis was up for 6th Man of the Year, but lost out to the LA Clippers' Lou Williams.
The U.S. women's soccer team is on to the quarterfinals in the FIFA World Cup, and fans who want to catch the next game will have to shell out a lot of cash. The U.S. beat Spain in a 2-1 win, with both goals coming as penalty kicks from Megan Rapinoe. The team will now face the host country, France, on Friday. The cheapest tickets are selling for more than $600, with prices ranging all the way up to $11,000. The prices are some of the most expensive for any women's sporting event.
All right, girls, let's do it. Still ahead, calling for stricter laws that will punish cyberbullies. How new proposed changes would punish the parents of kids who cyberbully. Coming up in 15 minutes.
Plus, delays while traveling can be the worst, but imagine a travel day that lasts 22 hours. That's what the Indiana Fever had to deal with. How they finally made it back to Indy, coming up after the break.
Max Life at TJ Maxx.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time now 5:25. Here's a look at 465 at Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic's flowing along just fine for your Tuesday morning drive right now.
Elena, thank you. Here's hoping the Indiana Fever basketball players are getting some much-deserved rest right now, and they're not up watching us. The team endured a brutal 22-hour travel day after their game on Sunday night. First, their plane got delayed and then had mechanical issues in Seattle. They made it to Atlanta, but they missed their connection, and there were no empty seats back to Indy. So they boarded a bus, and after a break for a new driver and, of course, some more maintenance, they drove all the way back. They arrived back in Indy around 8 last night, again 22 hours after the game ended. And it's a quick turnaround tonight. They host Minnesota. Luckily, it is a home game. No travel required.
What a headache.
No kidding.
The interns for the Indianapolis Indians getting their chance to shine during last night's rainstorm, or maybe actually slip. Well, that's what happened to Jordan Blackburn as she tried to pull the tarp across the field. You can see she just ends up just having to ride it out as she gets pulled along. Luckily, she was okay, and she hopped right up to keep helping.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, look at her.
or
that's good.
Here's what I would have done once upon a time. Pretended to slip.
All right.
Because that's pretty heavy, right? That tarp.
Oh, I'm sure. And then you could kind of see the wind getting underneath it.
Right. And I would have been like, oh, yeah, I slipped. And I just right along.
It's like a big slip and slide at
exactly.
that point. All right. All right, slip and slides, pools, going to be a popular place here later on this afternoon for a change. Make sure you put the sunscreen on. We'll warm quickly here this morning into the 70s by 10 a.m., close to 80 degrees already by the noon hour. And then high temperatures this afternoon with the mostly sunny skies will be anywhere from about 83 to 85 degrees. Get out there and enjoy. Finally, a dry day for us. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Looks good. Thank you, Todd. Still ahead, new fallout after Cathedral High School's decision to fire a teacher in a same-sex marriage. Why some alumni are now speaking up, upset with the decision. That's coming up when Good Morning Indiana returns.
RTV6 is working for you.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
An overnight fire forces 2 families out of their home.
Right now in Good Morning Indiana, what firefighters say about the cause of this fire. Plus, a teacher at Cathedral High School in a same-sex marriage is now without a job.
This morning, we're hearing from a former Cathedral High School student on why the firing goes against the values he learned in the classroom. Thanks for starting your morning with us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Nicole Griffin.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. And Nicole, we should be wearing our sunglasses right now because that is what we have in store for today. Sunshine, and that is it, Todd.
Yeah, you know, finally, I feel like I don't have anything to talk about, which is not a bad thing here, because obviously with all the storms and the potential for severe weather we've had the past month, there's been a lot to talk about. So, yeah, Meredith mentioned the sunglasses. You'll need those from start to finish here throughout the day today. I didn't check the jacket. Some of you may want it this morning for maybe an hour or two, but we warm up honestly pretty quickly here this morning in your outdoor workout. That is good to go here this morning and or this evening as skies are completely clear. Skies starting to brighten just a little bit here as you look past Victory Field off to the west. So there is not a cloud to be found in the sky across the area. The cold front is now swept well off towards the east, back off to our west. You do notice a cluster of storms near Omaha. That should track basically due east, and it's going to push more towards Chicago and South Bend rather than Indianapolis. So that leaves us in a pretty good spot. So the pool, hey, I'd head there later on this afternoon if I had one. Enjoy it. Maybe you're heading to one of the community pools. That's the one up in Kokomo. 78, the noon hour temperature with sunny skies. 84 degrees as you head into the 4 p.m. hour. Make sure you put the sunscreen on. The UV index about as high as it can get here. A burn time's only about 10 to 15 minutes. Elena.
All right. Thank you, Todd. So the good news is not too much happening on the roadways right now. Here's a look on the downtown area. I-65 at the north split. You can see traffic's moving along just fine without delay. Let's take a look at the map, though. So coming in from this northeast side, heading southbound on I-69 from Huntington Avenue to 465 should run you about 5 minutes. So it rings true no matter where you're headed right now. Traffic is moving along. Let's take a look at this area on our live in traffic camera 69 at 106th Street. You can see the roads are dry. Everything's flowing just fine. As you're making your way out the door, it should be a breeze. But coming up in the next 20 minutes, I'll point out an interstate closure you're going to want to pay attention to.
Elena, thank you. New overnight flames forced 2 families out of their homes on the city's west side. The fire started around 12:30 this morning in a duplex on West McCarty Street near Harding Street. Thankfully, all 5 people living in the duplex, along with a cat and gerbil, got out safely. Fire crews tell us the building is a total loss. No word yet on what may have started the fire.
A press conference is expected today in the death of a Girl Scout attending a camp in southern Indiana. Police say the camper and 3 others who were seriously injured were pinned under a tree after it fell at Camp Cook in Cannellsburg. That's near Tell City in Perry County. The Perry County Sheriff's Office says the tree fell around 11:30 local time yesterday afternoon. Girl Scouts of Southwest Indiana owns Camp Cook. They issued a statement saying in part, quote, Girl Scouts of Southwest Indiana was deeply deeply saddened to learn of the terrible incident involving a fallen tree at our Camp Cook property, resulting in serious injury to several campers and volunteers. There's nothing we take more seriously than the safety of our Girl Scouts attending camp, end quote. The camp is closed while this incident is under investigation.
The issue is not about sexual orientation. That's what the Archdiocese of Indianapolis says in a statement regarding the latest Catholic school controversy. On Sunday, Cathedral High School announced the firing of a teacher for being in a same-sex marriage. The move came after the Archbishop told the school it would no longer be recognized as a Catholic school if the teacher remained employed. The Archdiocese says all personnel inside a Catholic school are expected to abide by all church teachings. A Cathedral graduate tells RTV6 the firing does not reflect the values he learned at the school.
At Cathedral, I was told and taught to have the competency to see and the courage to act in situations where there's a lot of things involved, and I would have taken it in a different direction.
This comes days after Brebeuf Jesuit lost its official status as a Catholic school for refusing to fire a teacher who is also in a same-sex marriage. Last year, Roncalli suspended counselor Shelley Fitzgerald indefinitely because she's married to a woman. And this year, a second Roncalli counselor, Lynn Starkey, said she's losing her job because she's also married to a woman.
Parents and child advocates say Indiana needs to change the law to better protect children from bullying. One idea they're considering: fining parents of bullies up to $500. A group of concerned parents and citizens met yesterday in Fishers to talk about changing the law. Parents would only be fined after a student has been suspended in school, suspended out of school, received counseling, and performed community service.
We need to have these parents more accountable, because if they're not doing their part at home, how do they expect the schools to do their part?
The group will now take their ideas to state lawmakers who will draft legislation for the next legislative session. Several other cities and states such as New York, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania are also considering fines against the parents of bullies.
The fate of the assistant police chief in Brazil remains unknown this morning, but we are expected to learn more later today. Indiana State Police arrested Dennis Archer for drunk driving early Saturday morning. State troopers say Archer had a blood alcohol content level of 0.09. The legal limit is 0.08. Brazil city officials haven't commented on the issue yet. We're told Mayor Brian Windham is expected to address the issue later this morning.
9 Indiana airports will see improvements thanks to a new grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. The airports will each share a portion of $3 million. The largest amount of funding will go to the Madison Municipal Airport, which will receive $1 million to install fencing. Airports in Indianapolis, Muncie, Peru, and Wabash will also receive a portion of the funding.
The weather is warm here in central Indiana, and you likely will want to get out and enjoy these summer days and nights. But unfortunately, summertime means mosquitoes are out as well. Our Aaron Lish is live this morning with the important information you need to know before you or your family heads outside. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning. So, of course, we've had a lot of rain here recently, and because of that, mosquito control experts say these blood-sucking bugs will be out in full force. I've already seen a few flying around here this morning. So what can you do to avoid these pesky insects? This mosquito control team hits the tree line along Lori Pax's home, so her family, especially her son, can avoid bug bites over the summer.
I mean, it's been amazing. Like, he actually hasn't had bites all over.
Mosquito control expert John Utterback says these insects have certain hiding places.
So mosquitoes like the lowest, darkest, dampest spots.
And with all the rain, they're out in full force.
You have to have standing water for mosquitoes, and we've got so much standing water just everywhere.
And Utterback says dump out cups, tarps, and buckets that may collect water around your home.
Mosquitoes will lay eggs in there, and those eggs will turn into larvae. Even in a cap full of water, a mosquito can lay over 100 eggs.
You can use insect repellent containing DEET and fans to help with mosquito bite prevention. The spray lasts about 3 weeks, and for Pax, she says her son is now mosquito bite free.
It's nice to be out there and not have to go back inside because of it.
So the spray, according to Utterback, takes about 20 minutes to dry, and you'll start seeing those effects within 24 hours. Along with mosquitoes, it also protects you against fleas and ticks, so it helps out your pets as well. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Aaron, thank you. A huge honor for a Broad Ripple business. Travel and Leisure magazine named Nicey Treat as the top place in Indiana to get ice cream. That's even though Nicey Treat really specializes in popsicles with unique flavors. The popsicles come in both vegan and dairy varieties. Some of the flavors include cookie butter, banana cream, and pink lemonade. Each popsicle can be dunked in a quick hardening chocolate. Nicey Treat is near the intersection of Westfield Boulevard and Guilford Avenue in Broad Ripple. Todd, I keep leading into you with these Broad Ripple stories. Have you been there?
I've been there too. And they have the big blue truck that they take to the farmer's market all the time.
Our
Banana cream, by the way. Banana cream is my favorite one. Has the little wafer cookies in it. It's really, really good. As all the flavors are. All right, this evening, grab the sunglasses. You'll need them here across the area from start to finish. And honestly, it's going to be one of the better days we've had in quite a while here across central Indiana as the front has gone through. That has knocked the humidity down. It's taken the rain out of the forecast, and we're going to be left with mostly sunny skies throughout the entire day today. Some storms near Omaha may clip northern Indiana, but here in central Indiana, we should remain completely dry. So the normal high is 84. Yesterday, we got up to 78 degrees with that sunshine late in the day before that second round of storms came in. Today, we're looking at highs about 83 in Lafayette and Logansport, 84 over in Marion, Muncie around 85 degrees, southern locations around 84 to 85, and Seymour as well as Bloomington. And honestly, we're all in the same air mass, so there's not a big temperature difference across the area throughout the day today. Indianapolis, mostly sunny skies, right around 84 degrees as well. We're talking potentially 90-degree temperatures, though, by the end of the week. More on that coming up in your 7-day planning forecast in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. President Trump slaps Iran with hard-hitting financial sanctions. Straight ahead, why Iran leaders say the diplomatic path between Washington and Tehran is closed forever.
Plus, it was supposed to be a trip of a lifetime. Now 3 Americans vacationing in the Bahamas are recovering from serious injuries. Elena.
And here's a look at 465 at Meridian Street up on the north side. Traffic's moving along just fine for your drive. No backups or delays. Time now 5:40. You're watching RTV6. Stay with us.
Save at Onoro.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time now 5:44. Here's a look at 465 at I-69. You can see traffic's moving along just fine for your drive. This is up on that northeast side. Stay tuned. I'll have your latest traffic update coming up in just a few minutes.
Elena, thank you. Senator Mitch McConnell is expected to meet with 9/11 first responders later today. The meeting, although not yet confirmed by McConnell's office, comes after a public feud with comedian Jon Stewart over the 9/11 victim compensation fund. The fund is said to run out of money in December of 2020. Victims say they fear losing life-saving treatment over uncertainty that their medical bills will be paid. Stewart and advocates are urging Congress to make the fund permanent.
At the White House today, Army Staff Sergeant David G. Bellavia will become the first living Medal of Honor recipient from the Iraq War. President Trump will present the high honor. Bellavia is being honored for his heroism during a raid in November of 2004. The 5 previous Medals of Honors for the Iraq War were handed out posthumously.
The diplomatic path between Washington and Tehran is, quote, closed forever. That's how Iran is reacting to new sanctions handed down by President Trump's administration. The president slapped the new financial restrictions on Iranian leaders Monday, signing the country's alleged pursuit of nuclear weapons and support of terror. All this comes as tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to increase following Iran's downing of a U.S. military drone last week.
Dozens of cars are damaged after a massive fire in California tore through a dealership lot. Authorities say it all started when cargo being hauled by a truck on a nearby highway sparked the fire. The fire burned at least 20 acres before reaching the CarMax dealership. 26 cars on the lot were destroyed. Another 60 were damaged. CarMax officials say more than $2 million worth of inventory was destroyed. Thankfully, despite those massive flames, no injuries were reported.
A group of tourists aboard a bus in the Bahamas had to be rushed to the hospital following a crash. The bus was carrying 32 passengers from the Carnival Ecstasy cruise ship on an excursion. Carnival says 4 of the passengers had to be flown to South Florida hospitals. 3 of the passengers sustained serious injuries, including possible paralysis. The 4th patient suffered minor injuries. Officials say they are investigating what caused the crash. It is 5:46. Let's get over to Todd with some good news today.
Yeah, finally, I'm not the bearer of bad news in the forecast, as honestly, we have a terrific Tuesday in store for us. It's sunny. It's seasonable with our high temperatures exactly where they should be for highs this time of year, and the humidity is still fairly low. So get out there and enjoy. Let's try to make some outdoor plans today if possible. And overall, we have a mainly dry forecast going forward the next few days. There are a couple opportunities for some very, very small pop-up storms that'll be around, but not those big waves of storms coming through like we've seen really off and on throughout the entire month. And the 90-degree temperatures could be possible by the first time this year as we get into the day on Friday. So a beautiful sunrise taking place. Here's a live look from downtown to the north on the RTV Weather Now camera network. Temperatures this morning are sitting in the low to mid 60s across the area. 64 in Bloomington as well as Kokomo. 62 in Indianapolis. Muncie sitting right around 67 degrees. So radar is completely quiet this morning, and that's the way it'll be throughout the entire day. Not only is there no precipitation on radar, when we throw the clouds on with a satellite picture, there's nothing really to show you here in and around the area as well. But as you look back off towards the west, you do see some storms near Omaha. Some of these will start to make their way towards Chicago and into the South Bend area. But here in central Indiana, we should remain completely dry with temperatures climbing all the way up into the low 80s later on this afternoon. I think one thing you'll notice this morning is how quick the temperatures rise from where we are in the 60s. Already close to 80 degrees by the noon hour. For your lunch hour, get outside and enjoy maybe lunch on a patio or in a park. If you're bringing your own lunch, you can find a park bench and eat there. It should be beautiful, and then temperatures will be in the low 80s for your afternoon highs. I mentioned those rain chances in northern Indiana. As I put this into motion on TrueCast, you notice here comes a little band of cloud cover towards Chicago, and you have to look really, really close, kind of just behind the banner up there to the north. Those showers moving through. We'll keep an eye on them. It's not completely out of the question. Maybe, I guess, they could clip up Miami County and the Peru area, but I do think they should stay to the north here later on this afternoon. So this evening, if you have plans, temperatures will be near 80 degrees still at 7 p.m. and then falling back down into the 70s once the sun sets a little after 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, it's a little bit warmer. We start to get into that mid to upper 80s threshold on the temperatures with partly cloudy skies. And tomorrow is one of those days where I mentioned the chance of those pop-up storms. Watch what happens on TrueCast. They just pop up here and there. There's that one near Richmond, and don't notice so much of the placement, but just kind of know that they're possible tomorrow across parts of central Indiana. If you did see one of these pop-up storms, it's maybe a quick downpour, nothing severe, and it moves off in 10 to 15 minutes tops, and then the sun comes right back out. So nothing really to worry about. There's the 90-degree temperature Friday and potentially Saturday as well. And then Saturday and Sunday, those storm chances you see the same as tomorrow. Just a quick pop-up variety, plenty of dry hours and plenty of sunshine both Saturday and Sunday. Elena.
All right, thank you, Todd. Not much happening on the roadways right now. We have that interstate closure, northbound 65 between 465 I-865. So to get around it, just take 465 northbound to 865 westbound, and that'll get you where you need to go. Let's take a look at the road conditions right now. It does look like there is traffic's picking up just a bit on 465 and Michigan Road up on the north side, but everything's moving just fine. The roads are dry for your drive. That'll be the case all day long, so it should be an easy day as far as driving around the city goes.
Elena, thank you. The Trending 6 is next on Good Morning Indiana. What if you woke up to this, or rather the blast that caused it? Coming up, we'll show you how it was an explosion more than 7 decades in the making. Before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6. These are some of the stories that everyone is sharing online and you'll want to know about. Get inspired for some culinary or travel adventures. Today is Bourdain Day in honor of the late celebrity chef and travel show star Anthony Bourdain. 2 of Bourdain's friends set his birthday, June 25th, as Bourdain Day after his death last year. His friends say Bourdain Day is a great day to make plans for a trip abroad or perhaps go eat something you never have before. A Missouri grandmother lost her home to a fire but is thankful to be alive, and it's all thanks to a quick-acting police officer. Body cam footage shows the moments the Hazelwood cop arrived on scene. Flames and smoke billow from the home as the officer breaks in through a basement window. With the help of a neighbor, he pulls the woman and her granddaughter to safety.
Say what you are seeing is what? I don't know what that said, but a rare giant squid was caught on camera for the first time in U.S. waters. The footage was captured by a team of scientists in the Gulf of Mexico. An underwater camera was outfitted with a lure to attract deep sea life. Scientists are hoping the footage of the ultra-rare creature will encourage environmental conservation.
That is creepy. Well, folks who live in Albach, Germany were mostly asleep Sunday morning when they were jolted by a sudden blast. Something exploded, and this massive crater in a cornfield was all that remained. Police were sent to inspect the hole, which measured 33 feet wide and 13 feet deep. Now police believe it was a 550-pound bomb left over from World War II. Luckily, no one was hurt. That image is amazing.
Yeah. 2 days ago, the Los Angeles Dodgers game was interrupted by a woman escaping from the stands onto the field, all because she wanted to give a hug to Dodgers slugger Cody Bellinger. Well, last night, it happened again. The Dodgers were in Arizona playing the Diamondbacks when another woman ran out to get a big hug from Cody. After the game, Bellinger says he told the woman she was going to jail. She replied, "It's worth it."
Well, he must be good looking or something.
No kidding. Wow. Ladies, control yourselves.
Well, sure wish we knew who this was. This batter getting ready to hit tosses his bat away and pulls another bat from his pants. We're guessing this is a high school or youth league game. Watch now. He isn't done. Here comes the pitch. And there it goes. He hits a homer, courtesy of the old hidden bat trick. I've never heard of the old hidden bat trick, Todd.
I've heard of the hidden ball trick, but not the hidden bat trick. I mean, I don't know what the point of that was. You had a bat, you throw it to the side, you pull another one out.
Maybe that was his lucky bat.
Maybe. I don't know. Should have just grabbed it the first time, I guess. All right. Outside, if your kids have a ball game here this morning or this afternoon or this evening, you are in great shape. Temperatures are in the 60s anywhere you go from Indianapolis to Muncie. Radar is completely quiet all across the area. And that's the way it stays throughout the entire day today. And really, today is an absolutely beautiful day. Temperatures are seasonable. 84 is exactly what our average high is this time of year. We have the mostly sunny skies, the low humidity, and more importantly, it's a dry day for us. Get out there and enjoy. We have some minor rain chances ahead and also 90-degree temperatures heading our way. More than on that coming up in the next half hour.
Todd, thank you. Metro Police warning Northeast Side residents about a strange string of thefts. This is the incorrect video. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll show you that correct video, what they're taking, and how you can protect your vehicle.
And here's a live look from IMS as the sun rises on your Tuesday. What a nice shot there. There was plenty more news, weather, and traffic still ahead here on Good Morning Indiana. Stay with us.